My journey with self love has been kind of rocky and it's still progressing. And I thought that having my nails done, going to the hairdresser, buying expensive clothes and whatever is going to boost my self love, right? Because that's what you just find when you go online and you search for, oh, what should I do to love myself? How to increase your self love? Um, it just shows things like, oh, like find time for yourself, do this, do that. So I did this and I did that, but nothing happened. My self-love did not increase. Actually, it was the opposite. It went even more down because I felt bad for spending or wasting so much time and money on these things that didn't even help me in any way, right? They're just collecting dust somewhere, right? Anyways, I want to talk about what self-love actually is. Self-love is putting yourself first, but not doing that because you heard that's what you should be doing, but doing that because you genuinely feel that you should be putting yourself first. You genuinely feel that there is nothing more important in life than putting yourself first. And this is where the quantum theory comes into place, because I heard about this as well. I was like, oh, I'm going to putting myself first. But then like I would look around, I would no, like I can just go do this and I can do this. Like I'm not important, like there's other things that are more important that I should be giving my attention to, right? And I just didn't feel it. I knew what I should be doing. I knew that I should be putting myself first, but theoretically I knew it, but practically it was different because I did not feel like it. I did not feel that this is okay, I felt like I just didn't feel like worthy actually of putting myself first. So this is where it comes from, okay? Self-love is feeling worthy. Feeling worthy of putting yourself first. Feeling worthy of buying yourself all these things or treating yourself to some things, right? Or taking care of your body, right? You can do 20-step skincare routine. If you do not feel worthy of these 20 steps skincare routine, nothing is going to change. I know these girlies, like they get all the most expensive treatments, they have amazing clothes, but when you talk to them, like they're still not, you don't still feel like they have this worthiness vibe. You still don't feel they have this goddess vibe, like yeah, they're actually worthy of these things. They're doing that to kind of fit into a society, or because somebody else told them to, because they're being hard on themselves, but they're not doing it from the mindset that they're worthy of that. Okay, so this is what I want you to remember. You can literally just sit at home, not buy any expensive clothes, not buy any expensive treatments or whatever, and you can still love yourself. Okay? So, feeling worthy is the number one key to self-love. And I'm going to talk about the quantum theory right now because that was really changed my view about this, right? Like, okay, even feeling worthy is like, okay, I should be feeling worthy, but how do I do that? Like, why should I feel worthy? Okay, what should I do? And that also doesn't work, right? So that was until I discovered the quantum theory of this, which is what quantum physics says is that all is one. Okay, I just really want you to like tune into that. Like, all in this world is one. There is no difference between me and you. Okay, we are the same. You are just running on a different timeline. You're running a different reality, but we are the same. There is no difference between us, right? Like when I close my eyes and when I think about the consciousness behind all of this, what's going on, it's the same thing that you are feeling when you close your eyes. So we are the same. No difference between me and you. There's this, like, it looks like we are separated, right? Because the human experience is very limited. The human experience is very dense. That means there's a lot of separation. also the human senses cannot really see everything that's going on around here. We can only see, I don't know how much it was, I think it was like 0.001 of everything that's happening in the world. So with the 0.001 things that you can perceive, you perceive the separation, but there is no separation. And I have experienced this during my journey, okay? I have experienced, okay, so it was a little bit scary because once I saw this reality, I felt really bad because it felt like I'm alone in this world, okay? Because if there's no separation, if me and you are the same, that means that we are here alone. Like, I'm here alone, right? You are here alone, but we are the same. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here alone because this is my reality, so I'm going to talk about from my reality. I'm here alone. So it was really lonely and scary feeling being there, and I was like, now what do I do with this? Okay. What do I do with this information that everything is me? Okay, all the people around me is me. Okay. And I had another vision that I saw, which was that I was consciousness, I was pure consciousness, and I was jumping from person to person. Okay, we are all the same. So in that moment, I realized that this consciousness is just experiencing different realities. Okay, this consciousness is jumping into me to experience life from my perspective. This consciousness is jumping into you on a different timeline to experience a life from your programmed, limited human experience, right? So what that made me realize is that when I am talking to you or when I'm talking to anybody else, I'm talking to myself. Okay? And I really want you to tune into that. When you are talking with your friends, with your parents, with whatever, you're only talking to yourself. The consciousness in you is talking to the exact same consciousness in this other person. It's not a different consciousness, it's the same one consciousness. Okay. So I really want you to realize this. And so what that means is that if there's a person, like for example, you're talking to a toxic family member and something about them is triggering you, well, that thing that is triggering you in them is the same thing that's triggering you in yourself. Because otherwise you would not see that. It's your consciousness experiencing this trigger. It's not them triggering you because there is no separation. So I really want you to like go around the world and see what's triggering you. That's the kind of like what you're lacking in your consciousness. And that's something that you should be working on to eliminate so that this you become more whole and this trigger just does not dig a hole into you. So I'm going to talk about from my experience, okay? So I was just walking around the street and there was a person who just didn't want to let me pass. You know, it was just like a tiny lane and I was so annoyed. Like I was like, just move. And then I realized like, you're just talking to yourself. This person is you. Okay? So then I realized it's kind of my problem. I'm being triggered by this person. Why am I being triggered by myself? The other person is myself. Like I'm being triggered by myself. It's my trigger. Okay. Another thing, I was being triggered by some people acting in a really weird way. So, you know, like there's this girl and she was, I was in this kind of like a dance class or something and there was this girl, she was dancing in a really like weird way and I was kind of triggered by it. Not like triggered, but it stuck in my mind. I was judging her, let's be honest. I was judging her like, why is she dancing like that? Okay. And then I'm like, oh my God. That other person is just the same consciousness as I am. Well, what does that mean? That I am judging myself. Maybe for not allowing myself to express myself the same way that this girl is expressing herself. Okay, why is it triggering me? Why am I triggered by this another version of me? Because something in me is lacking. Okay? Something in this human experience, in this consciousness, is lacking, and that other person is here to show me, you know, because the way the universe works is that it's trying to put everything into balance. It's trying to put everything into the highest vibration, into love, and put everything into wholeness. So if you have been programmed in a way, all of us have been programmed, right? Like in our early childhood days, all of us have been programmed, and we are carrying this programming throughout our lives. And then there's people who are going to trigger parts of that program. They're going to tell you, hey, this is what you should heal. This is what you should release. This is what you should become aware of. And then, so that the world can be whole, right? The consciousness can be whole, because in this reality, it's your consciousness. And the consciousness wants to be whole, right? That's the ultimate state of happiness. So anyways, the way this relates to self-love is that when everything is me, and I put myself first, that means that everything else is going to put me first too. If I consider my consciousness worthy, and I consider this voice in my self worthy, then everything else around me is going to find me worthy as well. If I love this, what is in me, then everybody else is going to love that as well. And I have seen that specifically with insecurities. There's two people, let's say, right? One person is really insecure about their acne and the other one is not. The one person that is insecure about acne, everybody else around them is going to point it out. They're going to be like, yeah, you have acne. This other person who is not insecure about this, who's just living their life, nobody ever is going to confront them about their acne. Really. Because that's just not in their consciousness. Do you know what I'm trying to say with this? So, if you consider yourself worthy, if you trust your own inner voice, everything else is going to trust it too. So if you love yourself truly, and you're feeling worthy of this love, if you actually listen to yourself and you be like, what do I really want to do? Do I want to travel? Do I want to open a business? Do I want to go to college? Do I want to get married? What is it that I truly want? Let go of all the judgment and let the voice in you tell you the answer. Okay? And then do that. And guess what? Just because you are loving yourself and you're putting yourself first and you're considering this voice, this consciousness in yourself worthy, everybody else is going to do that too. Because why? Because they are you. They're the same consciousness as you. So if you are listening to this voice and you are considering this voice worthy, you're considering whatever this thing wants worthy, the world around you is going to rap. You know what I mean? Rap and be like, yeah, she's worthy, and it's going to follow. But if you don't consider yourself worthy of something, let's say you're gonna be like, I'm not worthy of this relationship, or I'm not worthy of love. Maybe you're in a relationship and it's toxic and you're like, yeah, well, I'm not worthy. You're not feeling worthy. Well, he's not going to find you worthy either, or she. They're not going to find you worthy because you're not finding yourself worthy. You're not listening to this inner voice. And this is how I want you to look at the world. When you go out there, the other people are only responding to you. They are not moving you. They are not influencing. You are influencing them because this is your reality. So if you truly listen to this voice and just do what this voice says, everything else around you is going to do the same. The world around you is going to follow. Okay? Your brain is not a camera, your brain is a projector. Okay, let me repeat that. Your brain is not a camera. Your eyes are not a camera. They are a projector. They project everything that is going on here. So if you listen to this voice and you be like, yes, this is what I want to do, the world around you is going to project. All of a sudden this guy's going to be like, oh my god, like she loves herself. Well, like I love her too then, because he has the same consciousness as you. The consciousness is just like responding to itself. Does that make sense? This guy's not separate from you. He's just showing you who you are. Or this girl. They are not separate at all. Your boss that you want to give you a raise is not separate from you. As soon as you start feeling worthy of this raise, he's gonna do that. He's gonna see that worthiness in you. But if you're just gonna be like, like I'm not worthy, like what do you think how is he gonna respond? The same way, because you are the same consciousness. Okay? So that's all I wanted to tell you guys today. I hope this video helped you and you're going to start looking at the world differently. That's what I intend for this video. And of course, I want to mention that hearing your own voice is tricky. I had really bad problems with that because my voice has been silenced, by my parents, by the society, like you should not be doing this is not okay, like this is how we should behave. My voice has been silenced, so I have been going through releasing all of these emotions to shed these layers and see like, who am I really, Who am I really without this society programming who told me what to do? Okay, and I'm going to film another video on how to shed these layers, so make sure to check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!